Good morning, everyone. This is Irene Mabag, and I'm going to discuss on the Organization for Philippine Budgeting. Let us first discuss on the objectives for public organization budgeting. The first one, assisting and planning expenditure to meet policy requirement. Number 2, policy implementation and control. Number 3, measuring and monitoring performance. Number 4, to determine the total expenditure of organization and ensure that it is consistent with total revenues. And the last one provides the basis for authorizing expenditure and collection of fees and charges. Let us first understand the budget process. Then we have here the budget preparation. OPC preparation, it starts with a budget call and ends with the President's submission of budget to Congress. Then we're going to discuss what is budget call. It contains the budget parameters including the macroeconomic and fiscal targets and agency budget ceilings. Then we have the early preparation. The DBM has established a new tradition of beginning the budget preparation phase earlier to ensure that the national budget is enacted on time under the new budget preparation. Then we have here number 2, the stakeholder engagement. Stakeholder engagement, a new feature in budget preparation which seeks to increase a citizens' participation in the budget process. Departments and agencies are asked to partner with civil society, organization, and other citizen stakeholders as they prepare their agency budget proposal. So we have here the departments and GOCCs mandated to conduct CSO consultation. So the original set piloted in 2012. So these are the Department of Health, Department of Education, Department of Social Welfare and Development, the Department of Public Works and Highways, the Department of Agriculture, Department of Agrarian Reform, the National Food Authority, the National Housing Authority, the National Home Mortgage and Finance Corporation. But then we have a new set starting on 2012. These are the Department of Tourism, Department of Transportation and Communication, Department of Interior and Local Government, Department of Justice, Department of Labor and Employment, Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Light Rail Transit Authority, National Electrification Administration, and the National Irrigation Administration. But all other departments and agencies are highly encouraged to undertake the process. Then we have here the what we call bottom-up budgeting. So the national budget of 2013 will be prepared using a breakthrough bottom-up approach as opposed to the conventional way of allocating resources from top to bottom. Grassroots communities will be engaged in designing the national budget. So during the Aquino administration, through the Cabinet Cluster on Human Development and Poverty Reduction, they identified 300 to 400 poorest municipalities and will engage this in crafting the community level poverty reduction and empowerment plans. So these identified municipalities will be their basis in making up this bottom-up budgeting. Then number 3, we have the technical budget hearing. So these are conducted after the department and agencies submit their budget proposal to the DBM. Here, agencies defend their proposed budget before a technical panel of the DBM based on the performance indicators on output target and absorptive capacity. Then we have the fourth one is the executive review. So after presenting to the DBM, the budget will be reviewed. The recommendation are presented before an executive review board, which is composed of the DBM secretary and senior official deliberations. Here it entails a careful prioritization of programs and corresponding support vis-a-vis the priority agenda of the national budget implementation issue. So it's like what we are experiencing now. We are in the pandemic, so our budget, instead of having many buildings or focus on structure, so some of our budget was allocated to vaccines. Then we have here number 5, the consolidation, validation, and confirmation. So the DBM then consolidates the recommended agency budget and then recommendation into a national expenditure program and budget of expenditure and sources of financing as part of consolidating process and deliberation by the DBCC will determine the agency and sector allocation. Then after that validation is the presentation to President and Cabinet. After the budget was consolidated, validated, and confirmed, it is now presented to the Presidents for approval. So then we have the last one, the President's budget. President's preparation phase with the submission of the proposed national budget or the President's budget to Congress. The President's budget consists of the following documents. So it is composed of documents so that the legislators will analyze the contents of the proposed budget. So we have here the documents. Number 1, the President's budget. The second one, the budget of expenditure and sources of financing, or what we call BSF, mandated by the Constitution. This contains the microeconomic assumption, public sector content, breakdown of the expenditure and funding sources for fiscal year and the 2 previous years. Then we have the third one, the National Expenditure Program, or what we call the NEP. This contains the details of spending for each department and agency by program. And then the last one, the details of selected programs and project. And the last, thank you. Bye-bye.